Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Conversatile, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything with anyone and everyone. And today I'm joined by one of my favorite people in Korea. She's my coworker, she's a fellow South African, and a very good friend. Elsa. Hi Elsa, how are you?
Hello there. A bit under the weather, but otherwise I'm fantastic, thank you.
Yeah, it's flu season again. So everyone is sick at work, the kids are sick, we are sick.
Walking around with toilet paper rolls.
Yeah. So Elsa, I'm very happy that you can join me today. I'm very excited. And first I want to ask you, are you a scary person? Do you like scary things?
Actually, no, I'm not really bothered, to be honest.
Well, it is Halloween, right? So it's Halloween season now. So every week, Elsa, I get emails from people asking things, sharing their stories. And this week I was very lucky to get a bit of a ghost story for us.
Okay, I'm ready.
So let's get into it and see what you think.
Switch off the lights, curtains closed.
Yeah, let's make it dark in here. Get a little spooky. All right, so let's start. So this email, the person did say I can use her name. It's Olivia. I don't know an Olivia, so clearly I have some fans now that I don't know, which I'm very happy about. But anyway, let's start. So, hi there, Conversatile podcast. I hope you're doing well. I'm already a fan of your podcast and it's lighthearted and fun. But seeing that it is Halloween season and you guys talk about anything, I thought I'd share my own experience, and I assure you, it's a bone-chilling one. A few years ago, I moved into an old house in a small town called Brixham. So I didn't know where Brixham is, so I had to Google this. It's in the UK.
Yes, sounds like it.
It's actually a very pretty town. Like it's very
countryside,
like, seafront, kind of like a fisherman's town almost.
Cute.
All right, so the house had an eerie vibe, but I brushed it off as an overactive imagination. That was until strange things started happening in the house. Right, immediately, no, move. All right.
Exactly.
Yeah, get out.
These people never move.
All right, let's go. One night, I was alone in my bedroom, reading a book, and getting ready for bed. The room was lit by only a dim lamp. After finishing a few pages of the book, I decided to put it down and scroll through my social medias. In doing so, I turned on my side, my back to the book on the dresser, and scrolled away through my Instagram. This town, and especially my neighborhood, was very quiet and peaceful. Some nights you could hear a pin drop, even in your neighbor's house. I was used to a rumbling city before moving here, and I enjoyed this pleasant change and quiet nature of the town. But then, the silence was broken by only the sound of pages turning. Suddenly, I felt an icy chill on the back of my neck. My heart raced as I turned around, but there was no one there. However, I did see that my book was open on the dresser, and I was sure that I had closed it after reading. It took a while for me to calm myself down, and even after searching the whole house with my trusty cricket bat, I could still feel that chilling presence, like a ghostly hand brushing against my skin. You can imagine that I slept, in all caps, very well that night. Major sarcasm there. All right. The incidents escalated from there. Objects would move on their own. Books would fall from the shelves. Chairs would be out of place after I re-enter a room. But the most horrifying experience happened one night in December. It was a rainy night with freezing temperatures outside. This already made me feel a bit uneasy. But there I was, snuggled in front of the telly, which is very British, fighting the cold, damp weather with some hot tea and bad TV shows. Then I started to hear footsteps in the hallway, slow and deliberate, as if someone was walking with heavy boots. As soon as I heard this, I turned down the volume and tried to listen where the sounds were coming from. Maybe it was something outside. I couldn't make out where it came from, and I returned to my show. Again, the the slow thumps of footsteps went up and down the hallway. And I knew this time it wasn't just my imagination. I could feel my blood run cold as the steps grew louder, approaching the living room. Overcome with panic, I just hid under the blanket I had with me, trembling with fear. The wooden floors creaked one last time at the entrance of the living room, and I could hear a faint and slow breathing. Whoever or whatever this was standing there, just standing there in the doorway of my living room. But I couldn't bring myself to look. The room grew icy, and I felt almost an otherworldly presence right beside me. I heard almost a whisper of a breath right in front of my face. The presence felt menacing. Then adrenaline took over, and I used all my strength to kick my legs out in front of me, throwing the blanket forward and getting ready to attack whoever was in front of me. But of course, there was nothing. I immediately got in my car and went to my colleague's house to stay the night, but I still didn't sleep a wink. The next day when I returned, I found nothing out of place, except a few small puddles of water in the hallway. I tried to rationalize these experiences, but nothing could explain the sheer terror I felt in that house. I soon after decided to move out, but even today these memories haunt me. I can't explain what I encountered that night, but I'm convinced it was something supernatural, something beyond my understanding. I hope you find this story as terrifying as it felt to me, and maybe it can be part of your podcast. Keep up the great work, and thank you for giving me a platform to share my spine-tingling experience. Happy Halloween, Olivia.
So creepy.
Right?
It escalated.
So when I read this, I was also sitting here like, I would shit myself.
Of course.
I would run out of the house and never come back. Light a match, put it ablaze, and run.
Too much.
Right. So what do you think of the story?
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps?
Yes.
It's scary, right?
Yes.
Do you like believe in like spirits, ghosts,
I do, actually.
and stuff? Really?
Yes, I do.
I don't know.
You
I
don't?
think I grew since I was very young, I watched a lot of horror movies. I'm a very big horror fan, so I'm kind of not immune to it, but I don't get scared that easily. Like I could watch a scary ass horror movie in the middle of the night and I won't feel a thing.
I find it entertaining.
Yeah.
But still, I do believe that there is a spiritual world.
Okay.
Yes. But I believe only some people are able to see it and experience it.
I mean, a lot of times when people talk about, like I saw this thing, this apparition or this spirit or what, do you think that a lot of times those people make it up?
Why? Okay, maybe, when you're kind of still sleepy when you wake up and you scare yourself, but I really do believe that there are something as a ghost, like a trapped soul on earth when they die. Especially these spooky abandoned hospital stories.
Oh yeah, those are my favorite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I'm trying to rationalize it in my head the whole time, thinking that nah, it's not a spirit, it's just the cold wind somewhere, a breeze coming in,
Of
or
course,
it's
we try to calm ourselves.
yeah, right. So it's Halloween now. So do you have any plans like to celebrate Halloween?
Actually, when I grew where I'm from, we don't really celebrate Halloween. It's not a big thing in South Africa,
that's
right?
True. That's true. Yeah, I never.
Not at all. No costumes, no trick or treat, nothing.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
this would be my first. Well, now that it's kind of sorrow story.
I mean, yeah, it is kind of taboo this year since last year's tragedy happened and stuff. So yeah, I get like there's not a lot of people celebrating it this year. Yeah, we never had it in South Africa.
Ever.
So when I came here, I went full out every
thing.
Halloween, like doing the makeup and the
imagine.
costumes, and it was so much fun. All right, so I know this weekend as well with Halloween is the Rugby World Cup.
It is.
And of course, South Africa versus New Zealand, which is going to be epic. Do you guys have plans to go watch it?
I had, however, the South African restaurant said they had complaints about the noise last weekend.
Oh,
The
really?
semi-finals.
Oh.
So
Oh, because
they're
it's 4 a.m..
not airing it. Yes. So
They're not airing it?
no, they are,
Oh.
but it was an exclusive booking just for a group of people.
Oh, you had to book.
So everyone else had alternatives. Home
Watching it at
airing,
home.
yes. I'll just probably air it.
Yeah, watch at home.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we have the Halloween event, so I'm not.
Oh, yes,
I'm
you're
not
going!
I'm not gonna make the
No.
rugby probably.
Do you have a costume?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of.
Okay.
We're still working on it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, Halloween is in this weekend that this
Mm.
podcast comes out. Halloween would have been passed already, but yeah, I have like kind of a cyborg Terminator kind of thing that I'm working on. So
Funky.
we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Pictures coming soon.
Okay. Yes.
Now,
expect-
like, so speaking of like scary stuff, like, have you ever encountered like any like scary stuff or ghosts
Nothing.
or no?
Nothing. My life has been so smooth. Very realistic.
So smooth.
Very realistic. However, I do believe.
However,
Transition.
Transition. However, comma.
I do believe in aliens and
Mm-hmm.
UFO sightings. Yes, I'm one of those. I'm one of those.
One of those people.
Yes, crazy.
Okay.
Crazy. But there's this recent documentary on Netflix called Encounters.
Oh yes.
It's
I saw
worth
it.
watching. I think it will change people's minds.
Oh, really?
Perspective about it, yes.
Is it the documentary of like different people every week telling their story?
Yes, different places in the world. Different countries.
I saw one as well. Oh, but that was Unsolved Mysteries. You know that TV
Oh, yeah.
show? It's also on Netflix, I think. There was one about aliens where it was this whole big conspiracy of like the government's trying to cover it up and.
It's this, yeah, it's a thing,
But also, it's always Americans. Why is it always in America?
Exactly.
The aliens are in America.
But that's why with this documentary they went to different places in the world.
Yeah.
There was actually a sighting in Zimbabwe in 1994.
Is it not about the ship crew that disappeared?
No, the children at a school
Oh.
saw it in the woods close to their playground. All of them saw it, and they had to draw pictures of what they saw. Even today, as they grew up, they had to. That's actually also on this documentary.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh,
talk about
damn.
this experience. And I just want to add to this, my dad, at that exact time, my dad went on a fishing trip close to the Zimbabwe border.
Oh, really?
Yes, during
Oh,
that time.
shit. Okay.
And it was at night around the campfire. They were at the lake, and all of them, the group of men. My dad is a huge Christian, so he doesn't
Yeah.
believe in these weird
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
But he saw it with his own eyes. They saw this strange light hovering above the lake. It could not have been a flashlight from the other side. It's too far.
Yeah.
Nothing above, and it hovered, and then it, speed of light, it just
Disappeared.
disappeared, and all of them saw it. So even he believes. So I believe.
So he believes, so I believe.
Exactly. Just
I mean,
there's
that's
too much
creepy.
evidence. So
I mean,
Kind of.
but we've never seen like aliens, and I don't know. I've never. I don't know. I mean, I do believe
You do?
that there are probably
There's
other
life.
planets
Exactly.
with life on it that we haven't discovered yet. I mean, that's a very
Mm.
big possibility. But again, I'm a very logical person, so my logical science brain tells me that there's no such thing as little green men or little gray men.
well, how we think. they
Yeah,
look.
how we perceive them.
Yes.
The stereotypical.
Exactly. But
horror
I think
movie
they
tropes.
visit, but they don't harm. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
They just end up here and then they leave.
Yeah. Well, speaking
Check
of
it out.
harm, so you do believe in spirits and ghosts and stuff. Well, you said
Yes,
spirit. There's a
yes.
spirit realm. Do you think that those spirits can harm people
No,
then?
how's that possible? I don't think so.
Well, they can move chairs and shit, so they might as well.
Has there ever been a case of
I don't know. I mean, yeah. No, yes.
no? But these stories about with the African tribes
Yeah.
that are possessed with
Oh, the
evil spirits.
Yeah.
I believe maybe you can be possessed,
possessed.
but not physically harmed.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big thing in Africa.
Yes.
They do believe
African
in
tribes.
African tribes do
Very.
believe in these spirits taking
Yes.
over their bodies and okay, that's
Ancestral spirits that come back to haunt.
yeah,
So, yes,
or to send a message.
exactly.
I mean,
So
that's
many creepy things.
yeah, that is creepy. I don't Yeah, I think I just grew up too rational, trying to make everything make sense in
Yes.
my mind. I'm a very creative person, but also my logical
There's a
side
line.
tells me nope,
Far-fetched.
it's wrong. All right, very cool, nice.
Actually, I'm quite confused about it, to be honest.
Why? I'm confused about what?
About all these superficial talks
Supernatural?
and supernatural.
Well, superficial. I mean,
Word.
some of them sound very superficial, but supernatural,
Such
yeah.
a word. But still, I do actually. I'm very persuasive. These
Very,
things sound very convincing.
very gullible.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
So recently, I also got an email that I thought you would be able to actually answer pretty well. I got a lot of emails from people asking about, living in Korea, come and work here and stuff. And one of the emails I got recently asked me about, do you think it's worth it coming in 2023 or 2024? Is it still worth coming to Korea? And you are quite you're
6 months.
still a Korean,
Yes.
the Korea baby.
Feel like a tourist.
Yeah. You're
Still
in
visiting
the
the
honeymoon phase.
popular tourist sites. Yes.
Yeah, you're still in the honeymoon phase.
Exactly.
So, do you think that it is still worth it, coming?
Absolutely. Absolutely. What an experience. It's an extreme culture shock. It's just, especially compared to South Africa, everything is different.
What kind of things, was a big culture shock for you?
The language barrier.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I actually was surprised. I thought it would just be concrete jungle, no nature. You
Yeah.
had to drive out of the city to go to the countryside. But it's actually very green. There's so many trees. There are mountains surrounded.
Yeah.
It was very pleasant to see this.
Yeah, Seoul I thought as well, coming to Korea, of course, I was in the south of Korea, south of South
yes.
Korea. I was countryside in my first year. When I moved to Seoul, I thought oh, concrete jungle. How am I going to survive in the city? There's no nature.
Hustle and bustle. Yeah.
But yeah, Seoul actually does a pretty good job of its nature and city combined. There's a lot of mountains. I mean, we live right next
Exactly.
to a
I've
huge...
hiked this
Yeah, you've done it.
thing, yes.
Yeah.
And beautiful parks. Huge,
Yeah.
beautiful parks. So many trees, families, picnics on weekends. It's wonderful.
Now, were there any other culture shock things that you kind of struggle with dealing still?
The food.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm quite fussy, to be honest.
Picky.
Yes, and I'm not a very big pork eater.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like pork capital of
Pork
Asia.
chop. Yeah.
Basically. I'm actually currently in love with kimchi mandu. Luckily,
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy kimchi.
Yeah.
It's for some
I mean,
people, it's hard at first.
that is definitely something you need to get used to. I think it's a lot like asparagus or olives back in South Africa,
Yes.
There are-
Mediterranean cuisine.
Yeah, it's
I
very...
miss that.
And people need to get used to it.
Yes.
It's not something you pick up and you
Yes.
like. It's not everyone likes it.
It
But
is.
kimchi is a lot the same. All right, yeah. Other foods that you found you can't eat here or...
I don't like these broths.
Oh, the
These
soups.
bone broth soupy things. It's like, no offense, but it's like dishwashing water left over with things floating around. And cold noodles. Who eats noodles cold?
Have you tried it
Yes,
though?
of course I've tried it. I probably have to just get used to it. But
Yeah.
anyway, luckily they have the best fried chicken in the entire world.
Yeah, that is one thing.
It's lovely.
Every second shop in Korea is a coffee shop.
Yes.
The other one is a chicken shop. There's so many chicken restaurants and it's
Yes.
fried chicken and they have different takes on what fried chicken
Sauces and
is.
flavors. It's delicious.
It's really good.
And then it's the iced Americano.
Oh, that's not a thing. I just realized, that it's not a thing in the rest of the world,
No.
right?
It's a Korean thing.
It's a Korean thing. I feel like it's a Korean thing.
Absolutely. And
Because when I tell South Africans we drink black coffee with ice in it, they're like, "Are you
it's
fucking
not
mad?
for everyone.
Are you crazy?
Exactly.
What's wrong with you?"
And it's not for everyone.
He says while drinking an iced Americano.
You are actually. I prefer it hot, to be honest.
Yeah. What is your coffee?
Black. Hot black.
Oh, okay.
Filter
Hot
coffee.
black. Oh yeah, filter. I miss that.
Plunger
Filter-
coffee.
Yeah.
I bought a plunger actually, so.
I miss South African moerkoffie.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Pura moerkoffie,
Yeah, that
yes.
was good. Oh, damn, I missed that.
Classic. Yes, of course, there's a lot of things from home back home that you miss. But this is what makes Korea so incredible, is the safety.
Oh, yeah,
And
of
public
course.
transport.
Yeah. Yeah, you lived in Cape Town? No,
Durban. Also, I grew up in Durban and then I worked in Cape Town for a bit.
Oh.
So there's no public transport. If you don't have a car, you're
screwed.
Yeah, exactly. Here, it's just 10-minute walk to the train station. The train goes everywhere. There are lines going everywhere. Buses, walking distance, everything is walking distance.
Yeah.
This is just incredible. And I've never walked so much in my life before.
I just wanted to ask you.
Stay fit, really. I can understand why these elderly people are in such good condition. Exactly. And there's no overweight people here. I've never seen someone overweight.
I mean, I guess recently I've seen more. I think it's just because Korea is becoming a lot more westernized.
Exactly, yes.
And the food is getting a bit more westernized and greasy and oily and stuff like that. But yeah, most of them, they have pretty small frames. They're very
petite
yes. People, especially the women. Like they're a lot of them are pretty petite. You won't see
short, tiny. I'm actually battling to find pants that fit.
Oh yeah, because you're long. You're long. You're long.
I'm very tall.
You're tall. Oh God, my English. Yeah, you're long.
Yes, I'm very tall compared to everyone
Koreans.
else.
Yes, you are very tall. Yeah, I know a lot of foreigners. We struggle with the pants thing.
Oh yeah.
Because the pants fit around your waist, but it looks like the pants got scared of your shoes and then jumped up.
3/4 chinos looks like we're doing that. Also, the safety. There are convenience stores without any employees in it. You just swipe your card.
The ice cream
shops as well.
Yeah.
Where in South Africa would this even be possible?
Never.
And as a woman at 2 a.m. in the morning, you can walk around alone in the dark. It's just incredible. I cannot believe this.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think I have never... I mean, of course, we think about it. Like, it's safe for us to walk around at 4, 5 a.m. in the morning, you know? It's fine. But I think for you guys, you realize it, I guess, much more. Because you were so used to, like, holding onto your purse. You scared of walking at night.
If I went jogging in my neighborhood, I carried pepper spray with me.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was
I mean,
that
of
intense.
course, you should do that.
Yes.
Yeah, Korea is pretty safe. I mean, yeah, I'm planning on maybe going back next year, and
it would be
I know, yeah, that's
huge adjustment.
I think that will be like a reverse culture shock now. It's like,
and the load shedding and the
yes,
electricity here, the internet speed, it's just so convenient.
Yeah.
But obviously we miss our roots, our heritage.
Yeah. We talked about it before. It's very everything that's good in Korea might not be as good in South Africa, and all the things that are good in South Africa you don't have here, you know. So it's at the end of the day, you need to choose what you're going to sacrifice.
That's the thing, pros and cons, you sacrifice.
Yeah.
And can I just mention the wine? You cannot compare. The wine, the decent wines here are unaffordable. It's so expensive, and then it's not even that good.
Yeah.
I miss South African wines, South African beers, craft gins. It's not like an alcoholic, but I just miss.
No, but I must say that's also, we have a much bigger variety of drinks and alcohol and stuff. Not that I'm a big drinker anymore,
really?
but
okay.
No. I mean, I drink 2 beers and I already feel it. So, but yeah, South Africa has a bigger variety of like wines and stuff. Here, if you go to a store, you're gonna pay out of your ears for a bottle of wine.
Yes.
And the cheap ones are
pathetic.
They live up to their price. They definitely live up to the very cheap price. Yeah. So the email also asked, kind of, you know, what can you expect coming here in your first few months, like with the job, with your house, with buying stuff?
Okay, it's very small, your apartment.
I thought you meant the clothes or the house. Both.
Okay, especially the clothes, yes. Okay, so weather conditions.
Okay, and let's start with the weather.
It's extreme and extreme.
Yes.
Extremely hot, humid. You walk 5 stairs down and you're drenched in sweat.
True.
Yes, so if you're planning to walk to work, wear workout clothes and take your workwear with you. I would advise that, especially if you have quite a distance to work. Winter, minuses during the day.
Yep.
So it's tough. I came here without any winter clothes, and now I'm on this shopping.
Oh yeah, you came in the summer, so you don't have a lot of winter stuff with you.
I'm on the hunt for decent boots and jackets and.
Yeah. I mean, the jacket, you did show me a picture of the jacket you bought. That is pretty good for winter because you need thick
puffer,
clothes.
like ski jackets.
I mean...
It's not very attractive, but you know,
I mean,
it's about keeping warm.
You'll see in the winter a lot of people walking around. You look ridiculous sometimes because you have so many layers on. And I mean, there's other countries that are, of course, colder than South Korea, but especially Seoul, in the middle of the city.
Oh.
If that wind, because that's
it's
it's very windy in Seoul, especially in the winter time. When that wind cuts through all those buildings, it's like a knife cutting through you.
Cold weather.
I love it. I love it. I hate the summer because the stickiness, this humidity is just horrible.
In winter, you don't want to do anything. Anything. It's such a lazy time in our lives.
I don't know. I'm quite opposite. Winter time, I feel I have more energy. I want to go out because I like experiencing that like freshness, the coldness. I don't know.
Air.
Yeah.
Okay.
I find that like much better than the summer. And oh no.
I'm excited about having a white Christmas. It will be my first snowy Christmas.
Oh, your first snowy Christmas.
I'm very excited about that.
I hope it snows a lot, though, for your sake.
Yes.
I think most foreigners that's lived here for a long time, they're kind of over it. The cold, snowy, because the snow is beautiful until it melts.
That's the thing.
It's nice until it melts.
That's the coldest part.
Yeah, it's very cold, and also you slide where you want to go.
So I should get gripping gumboots.
You should probably get pretty decent grip on your boots and then wear them whenever it snows or stuff.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, and like about the house, you mentioned the house. It's pretty small.
Yes.
How did you adjust to that?
So there aren't houses here. Houses are situated in the countryside, I think.
Yeah.
So everyone here lives in apartment buildings.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's very dense and tiny. But it's manageable. I have the bare necessities, and you're out and in. You're more at work than you're at home. So
that's true.
It's fine. I don't need much. I live basically out of my suitcase. I'm used to it.
Oh yeah, you
always done that.
You're also a very avid traveler. Actually, you love traveling and stuff. Like, what are some places that you've been to?
I've been to quite a few countries in my life, but it was such a long time ago. Yes.
Oh, because
yes, I had the opportunity.
Yes. So, out of all the places you've been to,
tough.
What was one of your favorites?
Tough.
I knew.
Budapest in Hungary.
Oh, okay.
What a special place.
Why?
I don't know. It's all the European cities look similar. You know, the ancient architecture, buildings, narrow streets. But Budapest is just different. It has character to it. I just felt it when I was there compared to the other place. Italy, of course. So cliche.
Such a cliche.
Absolutely. But it's also... and I'm such an island person.
Oh, yeah.
So if you love islands, I would highly recommend going to Seychelles.
Yeah. I know a lot of... Wait, isn't it like that's a place where a lot of South Africans go for like
Mauritius.
honeymoon? Oh, that's Mauritius.
Yes.
Sorry.
And Maldives.
Anyway.
It's more expensive. Seychelles is a bit cheaper.
Oh, really?
But, of course, South Africans flock to Bali and Phuket. Super cheap.
Yeah, it's very cheap.
But I had a great experience in Seychelles.
Yeah.
So.
How many countries have you been to overall?
28.
Holy shit.
Every continent.
4.
Including South Korea.
Including South Korea.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. 28.
I've been privileged, yes.
Yeah. Damn.
Grateful.
And did you travel like before you came to Korea or?
Yes. What do you mean?
Like, what were you doing before you came to Korea?
Right. Oh, okay. So before I came here, I was teaching at a school.
So you weren't traveling your whole life and then
no,
decided to...
it was before that.
Oh, okay.
No, I would have given that up.
All right.
Circumstances. I was teaching, yes. Not a very glamorous time.
Yeah.
Was desperate to get to just do something else, and I thought teaching abroad is a better salary and it's an adventure, more opportunities. So I was privileged enough to get this job in South Korea.
Yeah.
It was either Middle East or here. So,
I've looked into the whole Abu Dhabi, Dubai,
yes,
those places.
very highly paid, more
I
than
mean,
here.
they have huge salaries,
Yes.
which is, I guess, is good. However, I know it's quite hard
It
also
is.
to get in there,
Very.
and the workload.
Very.
What I've heard, I'm not 100% sure, is a lot more
That's
than
true.
other countries.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I mean, that's also an option for people, you know, that want to work abroad and stuff like that. All right, very cool.
Yeah.
What was your experience like now recently? You've been here 6 months. What was your experience with actual teaching, and how does it compare maybe to South African teaching?
It is very different because we're at an academy. So the kids go to their schools during the day, and then academies afternoon, night.
Yeah, after school.
So we only start work at 2 p.m. and we finish at 10
Which
p.m.
is nice though.
Lovely. We can run our errands in the mornings,
Yeah.
work out, all of that. It was an adjustment at first. I mean, you have 3 hours teaching one class, the same class, and then a break,
Yeah,
and 3 hours the next.
That's our school. It's very unique actually, where we have a 3 hour classes.
But we have such a long curriculum lesson.
Yeah, the lessons are huge.
But it's so much better. I was teaching biology and hospitality back home, and it was very exhausting to have 6 periods with 6 different classes, 6 different lessons you have to repeat every time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And it's the whole colleague environment. It's just maybe I'm just not a typical teacher. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like kids. I don't like children. However,
Well.
I know.
Well, fuck.
I know. Disaster, why did I come here? It's not just for the money, okay? The kids
Sure.
here, they changed my life.
Oh really?
They are so smart. They are hilarious. I laugh every day.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
These kids are smart.
Like they are matric level compared to back home. Not really. But
But it's scary. Like
Yes.
we have middle schoolers. So South Africa and Korean schools obviously work differently. Korea works with the American system.
Curriculum, yes.
Where it's elementary school is grade 1 to 5, right?
Yes.
Then grades 6, 7, and 8
Middle school.
is middle school. 9, 10, no.
10, 11, 12 is high school.
High school, right.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, we have 5 years of high school. They only have 3 years,
Yes.
stuff like that. But we have kids that are 12 years old. They're already doing high school math. They're already
Yes.
preparing for high school
Yes.
when they start middle school, which is ridiculous.
It is. I was shocked. And then I will ask them, what are you doing this weekend? Or what did you do this weekend? We went to academies and studied. Right? And during their holidays, they would say, we studied for the new term's work.
Yeah.
They don't have a proper childhood.
Definitely
We had.
not.
We were very blessed.
No, I thought about this a lot recently, talking to one of our students. I think we share him, Jin.
Yes.
That's the middle schooler.
Yes.
He talked to me. He told me a little bit about his schedule and stuff. Like he goes to school at 8 a.m. He gets home at night at 11 because they still need to take the bus from our school to their home. So they get home at 11. That means for the majority of the day, you are not at home. You are at academies, right? And he says, like, even sometimes he skips lunch because he doesn't have time for it. He just needs to, from school, he runs to the academy to another and to another. And then he does homework until 2 a.m. in the morning. And then he wakes up at 7. That means you get 5 hours of sleep.
It is so hectic.
It's unhealthy.
That's why they have such a high suicide rate, the young people.
And definitely.
Of course it makes sense.
Mortality rates in Korea and the suicide and the depression rates are sky high because it's such a go society.
Very competitive environment.
Oh, very. Have you noticed, like, even little kids that we teach, right? They're so competitive with, like, a vocabulary test.
Exactly. They start crying if they don't get 100%.
Yeah. I've had that
and then I just tell them,
times.
Don't be so hard on yourself. It's just a vocabulary test. It's not...
not the end of the world.
It's not an exam.
Yeah.
I can't. Yes, there was a shock, but it just shows you that it's first world country.
Yeah.
They work hard. That's why it's a first world country.
That's why it's... Yeah, I mean, they are very book smart. I will say that.
Yes.
Korean kids, Korean society is very book smart.
However narrow-minded.
However,
Yes, no idea whatsoever what's happening in the world.
Yeah, especially with our kids, I do realize a lot of times the social intelligence are not as high, and I don't mean this in any bad way, but their social intelligence aren't maybe as developed as kids similar ages in other countries.
Yes.
I think where we had a lot of time working in sports teams, you work in group projects, you play with your friends after school, you know. They don't really have that. They don't have after school.
No.
What do you call it? Like sports.
Extracurricular
activities. Yeah. They don't really have
it's
it.
academy, because it's
They
all
have
about
school.
academics.
Yeah.
And even if you do a sport, there's baseball academy, golf academy. You go to an academy to do the sports, like a club, instead of doing it at school.
Yeah.
Which is actually great, because when I was a teacher, we had to teach as teachers these curricular activities.
My future.
No, exactly. But you will be great at it. I had no experience. I had to do netball courses. I hated it, I'll be honest.
You mean you had to learn more about it?
I have to learn to coach netball. I hated it. I don't like outdoor... I like outdoor activities, but to teach it is different. To coach it. So this is what I like about the academies. We don't have any extracurricular.
That's true.
It's lovely.
We have prep work, and that's it.
Yes,
that's the
that's
extra
it.
thing you do, is you maybe help a student here or there with their work, or try to, improve their scores and whatever.
Exactly.
And like, what other things do you think was very different from Korean teaching or teaching here that wasn't the same in South Africa, or something you might not like about the way things work, or anything like that?
Well, what's hard here is you can't really express your opinions in class, these kids, because they're very... You don't know what they'll tell their parents. In South Africa, everyone is more chilled. You can express your opinions, your emotions. They don't care. The kids in South Africa are just very... We're chill people.
Laissez-faire.
Exactly.
Like whatever happens, happens.
They don't even listen to you in class. So I could say anything I want.
But that's the... I hate that, though.
Exactly.
If they don't listen, that's I think my biggest pet peeve as a teacher is...
Take out your books.
Page
Page 5.
At least
page
listen.
5. Teacher, what page?
Page 5.
Page 5. Okay. And they play with their cell phones under their desks. It's just
really?
chaos. It's chaos there.
We were never allowed to have phones in school.
But we don't know. They just...
Oh.
They're rebels. But here, the kids listen to you. There's no cell phones. They study before they enter the class. They study their vocabulary words. The discipline is unbelievable here.
Yeah, I think, and I think it connects to what you said earlier. They're so competitive, right?
Yes.
And what you said about you're so scared to, share your opinion in class. I think it's just because the parents of Korean students are very strict. They're just as competitive as the kids, and I think the reason the kids are competitive is because of the parents. Where I've noticed now over the years, where the parents try to compare their child to their brother or sister's child, or to their neighbor's children.
It's like that.
And I think that's why if you might say something that the kid don't agrees with, they end up telling their parents, hey, but my teacher disagrees with me. And then that parent ends up calling the school saying that...
So we have to be very cautious about what we say there.
Yeah, that's especially when it comes to topics about maybe Japan, because of their history. I'm always very careful to say anything about Japan. I'm just... The only good thing, I'm like, Japan has Harry Potter world. And then all of them agree, like, yes, that's the only good thing they do. And stuff like North Korea, like I tend to like stay away from that.
Yes.
And as soon as kids say like they bring it up, I would just nod along and say, "Oh, very interesting." You just don't say yes or no.
Not bias at all. Just
you just agree with whatever they're saying because you don't want to get in trouble.
Yes.
All right, yeah, I mean that is true. Like, there's a much more. How can I like? There's always an eye on you. Teaching in Korea.
Absolutely.
Like all the classes have CCTVs and microphones, and they are watching you the whole time because parents can easily like turn against a teacher, or a student can easily blame a teacher for doing something and then it never happens. So it's like to protect us, but it's also to protect them.
Yes, and we are not allowed to punish these kids. It's not like a school system. Back home, you can punish them.
Yeah. I mean, here we can punish them, but the punishments are like staying in break time. Break time's like 5 minutes, which doesn't really get the point
everything
across.
is different. But it's better for
different.
me. It's more controlled, more disciplined.
I think it's kind of refreshing from what you're used to. Especially, I know the school. I mean, if the school system is the same as when I was in school in South Africa, that was chaos. Now that I think of it, like there was not a lot of control, and I also think because this is privatized academies and their parents pay a ton of money
Rich kids.
I mean,
they have brands. It's just the latest brand clothing.
Yeah.
At such a young age. And also, the admin at schools in South Africa is more than teaching. Yeah. You spend more time in admin than actual teaching.
Yeah, that's true. I do remember like teachers always complaining about that when we were kids, and I was like, it can't be that bad.
And your best friend was the printer at school?
I mean, the printer's my best friend at this school.
Oh, okay.
I loved using the printer, but also I hate wasting so much paper.
Exactly. It's like a whole tree just for a tiny class. But anyway.
A whole tree just to get the point across in one class.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you. Like, that was really... It's really cool to actually hear someone's perspective on how it feels. I think there's a lot of people that do consider coming to Korea or any other country, and it's good to have different perspectives on these things.
If you're not an adventurous person and you like comfort zone, I would not recommend it.
Oh, Matt said the same thing actually in the podcast.
Yes, it's a huge culture shock. I think it would be in any country that has this language barrier. But if you're up for it, and it's a change, even if you just do it for 1 year, it teaches you independence and you learn a lot from different cultures, the language. I would recommend it, to anyone actually. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not for everyone, but if you can push through, I think the first few months and find things that you do enjoy, things that you do like to eat, where to buy clothes that fit. I mean, then it becomes a bit more relaxing and it's fun and you can actually enjoy and then start traveling around and stuff.
Yes.
Right. So, last question though, before we end. You love traveling. Yes. Have you made any... plans for, let's say, the next year, places you would like to visit from Korea?
Definitely. Well, Busan within Korea.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing that next year.
Okay.
Yes, I'm still saving up money. Paying some debt off back home.
Ooh, the debt.
Yes.
Always the debt.
My car. I'm still paying my car, my cell phone. Anyway, and then also I would love to travel to Vietnam next year because I haven't been to Vietnam yet.
I mean, I must say that I've heard of, Vietnam is quite cheap to travel to from Korea. And it's also the food and the accommodation there is not that expensive, actually. So
yes, so I'm leaning towards that. And that's,
You should go to Philippines. Have you been there?
I've been there.
Oh, never mind. I mean, I've
been there.
We're thinking of going maybe in Solno, which is the Lunar New Year.
Yes, you should go.
We're thinking of going there again.
Okay, but where about?
Boracay.
Okay.
Because we went to Boracay last time as well. Okay. Right when COVID hit. When we came back, we got off the plane from Boracay and then for Philippines, and then COVID hit Korea. And then so since then we didn't travel anywhere outside of Korea again. So we might do that next year as well. Do it. Yeah, well, I mean, let's see where you go next. Let's see if it actually happens.
Good luck with our future endeavors.
Yeah, because I also need to start saving money.
Yes, of course, everyone does. I mean, Seoul has a lot to do, and
Seoul's expensive.
Yes, very. That's also the living cost here is very expensive. It's like living in Cape Town, if you know how that is.
Oh yeah,
very high.
I mean, me moving back, I'm thinking of going to Cape Town, so it won't be a big difference for me.
The salary difference,
struggling every month.
Yes. Eggs and apples.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Oh, eggs. I saw in South Africa. What's going on with the eggs?
What? I don't know.
Apparently eggs are like super expensive now or something. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why. I just saw memes the whole time on Instagram about...
Maybe the chickens have diseases.
Probably.
Oops. We don't know anything that's going on anymore.
Or someone broke a bunch of eggs and now everyone has to struggle.
Who knows?
But yeah, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
I had a lot of fun and I've learned a lot more about you actually. We work together and we talk every day, but I've learned a lot more. And good luck with your future Korea endeavors and your traveling and all that stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoy your non-Halloween and you're...
I'll watch a scary movie.
All right. Just
Sunday.
do at least one scary thing.
I will, definitely.
It's like, what do you call it?
A cringe scary movie.
What do we, Mandela Day?
Oh, yes.
Do at least one good thing.
Exactly, you have to.
For Halloween, just do at least one scary thing.
I'll definitely do that. Yes.
All right, and I hope you enjoy your Halloween and
Thank
enjoy
you
the
too.
rugby at 4 a.m., which I'm not going to watch
Yes,
probably.
We'll watch the score later on.
You can tape it for me and give it to me.
Thank you for having me, Marnu.
All right, of course, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so remember to email me at conversatilepod@gmail.com. Leave a comment down below, something you would like to see in the future podcast. Remember to send me your emails. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and all that's nonsense. And then I'll see you guys next time. Remember, stay curious, stay versatile, and always keep the conversation going. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.